The government is making a record number of requests now for the private information of you from Google. That's according to data released by the search engine giant. What's more startling is that over half of these requests are made without warrants. So is it constitutional? Who better to ask than Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. Good morning to you, Judge.
Good morning, Gretchen.
All right, so lay out for us what the law is right now. What can the government do?
Well, under the Constitution, the government can't get any information from about you, from anybody, from a telephone server to a provider to a computer server to your bedroom drawer without a search warrant. Search warrant is issued by a judge based upon sworn evidence of probable cause of crime. That's what the Constitution says. It covers everything. But gradually over the years, the government has worn away at that constitutional protection. In 1986, in the Reagan administration, the government enacted the Electronic Privacy Act, which basically said federal agents can write their own search warrants, bypass judges, and get information about you from banks. In 2001, the government did it again with the Patriot Act. So where does it stand today with emails, which is what Google reported yesterday? About a month ago, the Senate voted to prohibit the government from getting people's emails without a search warrant. The legislation died in the House. So the law as it now stands is federal agents can write their own search warrants to get your emails. Get your emails means emails stored not in your personal computer, but in the server's computer, and not the body of the email, but the identity of the sender and the receiver.
I see.
If the government wants the wording of the email itself, it has to go to a judge and get a warrant. Why am I aggravated about this? Why should everybody be aggravated
You seem so calm.
about this? Well, people should be aggravated about this because these are private communications which are protected by the Fourth Amendment. But the government has given itself. We didn't give to the government gave to itself the power to get this information about us. It always does it under a benign purpose. It always says we're doing it to keep you safe. But in reality, it is invading our privacy. And it's privacy that we have come to expect that we have.
Let's see what Google had to say about this. Before complying with a government request, we make sure it follows the law and Google's policies. We notify users about legal demands when appropriate, unless prohibited by law or court order. And if we believe a request is overly broad, we seek to narrow it, like when we persuaded a court to drastically limit a U.S. government request for 2 months of user search queries.
If Google does that, my hat is off to them, because if Google were to say to the Carlson or Napolitano household, the federal government has asked us to identify and isolate emails that you sent or you received, we want to tell you about that. You then have an opportunity to go to a federal judge and say, what's going on here? Where are my Fourth Amendment rights? But when the Google doesn't tell you that, like the federal government says, don't tell the Carlson household, then you don't know what the government has about you.
Okay. Thanks very much, Judge. You explained it brilliantly for this hour of the morning.
Pleasure, Gretchen.
Oh, it's great to see you.
Where's Kilmeade? Is he awake?
Now,